over again. I'll do it.
Oh, it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. Hello fellow kaiju fans, it is iGodzilla Productions TV, and today I'm going to be talking about Ultraman Decker in the month of August. And of course I do want to also say there was a recap that was last month. However, I did not watch it and I never will, so I will not be talking about it. So let's start off by talking about episode 5. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. The new Ella King suit. What did I think of the new Ella King suit? I honestly thought the new Ella King suit was kinda Wasn't the greatest. I mean, especially when they were making it do poses like this, where it's waving and dancing, and just the arms are all screwed up. I really didn't like that. And personally, I just kind of found the original to be better. This one was very wrinkly, and the original was too, but it looks good on the original one. It looked intentional, like it was part of the monster's design, that it was a wrinkly monster, you know? I mean, if you look at it and squint your eyes, it looks pretty good. In show, Although Ella King back in general, I loved it because the Ella King tadpole was back, Limb Ella King was back, and we got to see Ella King human-sized, which I just love so much. It was adorable. I wish we saw stuff like that more often. Just a human-sized alien messing around, you know? And the story was just, you know, a really sweet story in general. Girl overfeeding her Ella King till it's got a bitty belly. And the episode was just genuinely pretty funny. Which you have to trigger. Oh, it's so nice to see. I just love seeing around the TPU base a little more, just in a normal episode. Hey, they're in there. Like, it after Trigger, that is just feels so out of place, and I loved it. More of that, please! And the fight was pretty good too in the end. Seeing the way they utilized the river was awesome. There were some really good shots where you're like half under. And the lightning effects and the use of them were really good. I don't know why, but the yellow lightning always looks so much better than the blue lightning in Ultraman these days. It just genuinely looked really, really good. Honestly, the effects in general looked really good in the episode. Like whenever Ella King was in the water, just for some reason the reflection and just the way the water warped, it just looked so Sorry. And then of course Miracle, Decker Miracle type. While I'm still bummed that Miracle showed up after Strong for whatever reason, I'm glad they at least stayed faithful to what Miracle is. Some super psychic Ultraman, and didn't just make a glorified Sky type look. I was kind of worried they would. Although not everything about Miracle was great. When Kanata got the card and he said this weird speech thing, that felt really odd and out of place. I feel like Takase threw that in there. That was not a Sugimoto thing to do. Especially after episode 3 when the same thing happened when he got Strong. And finally, I wish Guts did a little more in this episode. Kind of felt a little like Trigger where they just kind of stood and watched. Like they got all their planes, the Narsadesi, their guns. I feel like they could have done something. Even if Ella King, they weren't trying to kill it, they could have at least tried to keep it away. So final verdict on episode 5 is 9 out of 10. Now for episode 6! I really liked seeing the flower and the rainbow tribute to Pagos. Pagos has been shown up a lot in New Gen, but it was nice to see they actually brought like the rainbow thing back. I liked that. And the character interactions were really good in this episode too. Seeing the jerk guy talk with Kanata, I like that. And he's so much better than Akito. Akito is like night, and the jerk is like, you know, daytime. You know, getting deep here. I just love seeing that he's, you know, actually taken seriously, and they're taking the stuff he does in the episode seriously too. And you know, I like that a ghoul reference that they threw in there. See, I catch these things. And of course, the thing this episode is gonna go down in history for, the underground fight. Oh my god. I love the big LED background. I thought, oh, it's so good, infinitely better than whatever they could have pulled off with green screen. I really, really hope to see it more. And honestly, I kind of wish they had that around Trigger times. I think that would have absolutely made the Eternity Core background so much better. And also that would have been like the perfect time to bring it in too. But whatever. And another thing in this episode where I was just like, oh my god, that's beautiful, was that ending shot where Miracle lands on the ground and it's the dirt coming into the camera and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. Oh my golly goobers. It was really, really cool. I want to see more of that. While the practical stuff was good, the digital effects could have looked probably a lot better, honestly. For example, when Agira jumps on Teleston, there's the explosion, and then there's a production crate effect, which has been in a lot of my videos. Just right there. I was like, oh, $5. $5 right there, I know that. And in general, the episode was way too stuffed in that underground fight. Take out Agira and Teleston all together, and maybe do a little more with the Twin Tails. And just bringing back a complaint I had for episode 3, which is a complaint about Decker in general, is that the Ultraman Decker and Guts arsenal is just way too much. It's hard for there to be stakes. Decker now has 3 forms, 3 card monsters, and then Guts has 2 planes that can combine into one super plane. And I got the Narsudesi with 2 different forms, now with a super beam that's even more powerful than the one before. It's just like, how can you sit there and say, yeah, how the heck are they gonna win this time? Besides that, I still thought the episode was pretty good. I gotta give it an 8 out of 10. Now to talk about episode 7. Oh, that's all over my arm. Remember in my last video how I was like, oh, episode 4 gets a 10 out of 10 right away. Well, I could tell you episode 7 gets a 1 out of 10 right away. Kengo's back and it's somehow worse than I could have imagined. First of all, and of course this is just episode 7, there's a lot wrong with episode 8 too, but I'll get there when I get there. I'll tackle that beast when I have to. But let's just start off by saying the characters have absolutely no attempt at aging. I don't know, just like put a little bit of prosthetics on their face to make them a little older. Give them like a little bit of gray hair. Especially the captain. If you had given him gray hair, there you go. Now, if you were to look at Dinah, now of course, comparing this to Dinah, it's never gonna be like Dinah, but at least just take a little bit of what they did as an example. How whenever the Guts team showed up from Tiga, you could tell that they were older now. They act more mature. All kinds of stuff like that. They look different. They dress different. Well, yeah, they definitely made him dress different in Decker here. They made him look like hobos. And I guess Yuzure was dressed different too. Or, well, I guess it's a different Yuzure. Why? Why do that? It just keeps getting worse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he knows what I'm saying. So yeah, a new Yuzure shows up just to give Kengo some toys. And speaking of which, one of those toys is Trigger's 3rd sword. Yeah, that's what he needed. Another sword. And the sword just doesn't even have any unique attacks. It's the same things we've seen before. Oh, a beam. Oh, he spins in a circle. Oh, it's a big slash that he comes down from the sky with. And Megalothor's back. How about that? How? Oh, how could I forget? There was a reason. Right. A fragment got a hold of some spheres, and it's using the spheres to regenerate. Right. What? Huh? How is it using the spheres to regenerate? How does that make any sense? And then how is Carmera back? How is she now separate to Megalothor? Why would she be separate? It's like if all of a sudden I were to die, and then there was 2 of me. And then, you know, Kanata and Kengo are gonna talk, obviously, because the 2 hosts, you know, they gotta talk. You know, that's a given. But seriously, guys, did you have to do that? Did you guys really have to bring back, you know what? You know what? You know what? You know what you brought back. You know exactly what you did. And of course, you know, what does this episode just have to do? What did Trigger do? Let's bring back all the bad stuff Trigger did. How about flashbacks every 5 seconds? Yeah, I remember Trigger. You don't need to keep reminding me. I don't want to be reminded of it. And then the fight was bad. They couldn't at least give us a good fight. It was just the same stuff we've seen before, not used in any sort of unique way. It didn't look good. Like, the effects didn't look good. And you know, remember how last time I talked about how Guts has this huge arsenal, and Decker has this huge arsenal, and it's hard to feel stakes? Well, they decided, oh, I know how to make it feel like there's stakes. Just forget about those. Are you kidding me? The massive, super powerful Narsudesi could have helped out. Maybe a couple of the capsule monsters could have come out at once. Maybe Decker could have used Miracle. Flipped through his different forms instead of both of them being strong at the same time. Alright, well, now my day is ruined. Oh. I know how to lighten the mood. Let's talk about some magazine scans for the upcoming episodes, which honestly, I do think look pretty good. Episode 9 is gonna have Grigor and Sphere Red King. I think Sphere Red King looks awesome. The placements of the crystals on him look really cool. His face looks really menacing, and he's red. He's actually red! And Grigor is so cool to see back. I really love that they're bringing him back. His episode was one of my favorites in Dyna, and I love that they're actually trying to bring him back in a way differently than he was in Dyna, by not having him be an imitation. Episode 10, I believe, is Neomagus. It's the new Neosaurus! Holy crap, guys! It's just Grigio, but they slap Neosaurus stuff on it. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate that they're bringing Neosaurus back in a way that it's not Neosaurus, since he was pretty specific to his episode in Dyna. And then Sphere Neomagus. That's pretty cool. That's all I gotta say about that. The Ray Basser suit looks awesome. I think it looks like the best Basser, probably. I think it is the best one. However, the toy, we don't talk about that. And Terrafacer. Oh my god. Terrafacer looks super cool. I'm already like planning a short battle to do with it. I love it. I'm absolutely buying that figure. And yeah, that basically sums up my thoughts of Decker. Everything to do with Decker in August. And what I'm looking forward to seeing in September. Although nothing in Decker can top what I'm most excited for this month. The 45th anniversary of The Last Dinosaur!
He is the last dinosaur.
Man, so hyped for that. Well, this has been Godzilla Productions TV. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm signing off. See ya.